At the Ubisoft Forward that happened a little while ago, we got more information on the upcoming Avatar game, Frontiers of Pandora, and after looking at all the gameplay that was shown, I'm still a bit unsure on the game. So originally Frontiers of Pandora was announced at E3 back in 2021 and was scheduled to release in 2022 alongside Avatar 2 The Way of Water, but sometime during 2022 the game got delayed to 2023, where it now has the release date of December 7th, 2023. Frontiers of Pandora marks Ubisoft's first current gen only title, meaning that it will only release on PS5, Xbox Series consoles and PC. The fact that it's only releasing on current gen consoles I'm actually quite pleased with, as for so far this entire generation most games have been cross-platform, meaning that they release on previous gen as well. So with the release of Frontiers of Pandora, hopefully we will now have games that will solely be releasing on current gen platforms. So the people that are developing this game are also the same people that are behind Star Wars Outlaws that I recently did a video on. I'll leave a link to that in the description, as well as hopefully in the iCard in the top corner, that being Ubisoft Massive. So the fact that Ubisoft Massive are creating both these games at the same time, to me suggests that Frontiers of Pandora is getting close to the end of its development cycle, as why would the team be working on two big budget, high profile games at the same time if the first one wasn't nearing completion? So if that is the case, then hopefully the December 7th release date is actually a lock and it won't get pushed back into 2024. So there are 5 editions planned for Frontiers of Pandora. The first one is just the base one, which gets you the game and nothing else, and that is priced at $70 or £65. Then you have the special edition, which I've only found a listing for the UK, where it is priced at £68, and that gets you the base game plus the Sorrento Heritage Cosmetic Pack. Next is the Gold Edition, which gets you the base game plus the Season Pass, and the Season Pass contains 2 story expansions, an extra quest, and a unique Banshee cosmetic, and that is priced at $120 or £90. Then you have the Ultimate Edition, which is digital only. That is $130 or £115, and that gets you the base game, the Season Pass, and the Ultimate Pack. The Ultimate Pack contains the Sorrento Heritage Cosmetic Pack and the Sorrento Equipment Cosmetic Pack. And the final edition of the game is the Collector's Edition, which is $230 or £200, and that gets you the Ultimate Edition of the game, a 35cm statue, a 125-page art book, a resistance-filled notebook, a steelbook for the game, the AMP suit blueprint, 3 lithographs, and a certificate of authenticity. Pre-ordering any copy of the game will give you the Child of Two Worlds pack, and if you're playing on PlayStation, you will get the exclusive Arunahei Weapons pack. So in the game, you play as a Na'vi, and at the start of the game, you play as a child version of the Na'vi you will play later in the game, and they are kidnapped by the RDA, and the RDA train you to use the human weapons and technology. But then during the Battle of the Hallelujah Mountains, the RDA are forced to flee their base where you've been kept prisoner, and you are saved by your teacher and placed into cryosleep. Then years later you wake up, and upon leaving the RDA base you discover and see Pandora, as it's been, I believe, 10 to 15 years since you've been put in cryosleep, and from there you are left to explore the western frontier of Pandora, which is a place that has never been seen in the films before. As you explore Pandora, you seem to come across tribes who appear to teach you new skills. For example, the first tribe that you meet is the Arunahei, and they teach you how to fly on an Ikron or a mountain Banshee, which will act as the flying mount for the game. So far we have only seen 2 different mounts that we can use in the game, those being the Ikron, which act as a flying mount, and a dire horse that will act as a land travel, land-based mount. These will be similar to, I guess, vehicles that you see in Far Cry games, like the Ikron will be similar to like a plane, and a dire horse will be similar to a car that is found in the Far Cry games. Also, it's worth mentioning that when using mount, the camera will switch to third person, whereas the rest of the game is in first person, similar to the Far Cry games. As from what's been seen, the game is kind of a reskin of Far Cry, but with an avatar skin slapped on it. As you explore the western frontier of Pandora, you'll come across various different environments, and the environments that have been shown to the gameplay showcase look very beautiful, and I'm actually quite looking forward to just explore them. As we've seen open fields and we've seen kind of like forests, I'm quite looking forward to just sink my teeth into those areas and fully explore them. Also, thanks to the power of the next gen consoles, the foliage and the fidelity of the game should look very, very nice. So I'm quite looking forward to see, or hopefully see, the full power of the next gen consoles used in the world of the game. When it comes to combat, you will have a weapon wheel which you can assign various weapons to, like Far Cry. These weapons will be a mixture of human weapons such as machine guns and stuff, and Navi weapons such as bows, arrows, and a kind of slingshot that appears to throw explosives, which you can use to take out the guys in the AMP suits. Bases are a thing in Frontiers of Pandora, and similar to Far Cry, you have to take out all the enemies within to quote-unquote claim it. Unlike Far Cry, where the resistance take over the base, in Frontiers of Pandora it's nature that will take over the base, as the Na'vi have no need for these bases, and as a result of nature reclaiming these bases, some higher quality material will start to grow there, which can be used in crafting. We've seen very minimal crafting in the showcase so far, and the only crafting we saw was that we can craft arrows for our bow, but as higher quality materials are available in the game, we can assume that crafting will be there. Another part of the game that wasn't shown in the gameplay showcase, but we're pretty confident is there, is hunting, as in the Far Cry games, hunting is a big part of those games as well, so it only makes sense for it to carry over into Frontiers of Pandora as well. And the last bit I want to touch on is that the game does have a skill tree that players can spec into. It appears that there are going to be 3 different skill trees. One, I assume, for stealth, one for like general upgrades like extra health and maybe fall damage resistance or something like that. And then the third one will most likely be a warrior style that maybe gives you, like, say, your arrows will do more damage against certain type of enemies, for example. So that's everything that we currently know about Avatar Frontiers of Pandora. I am kind of looking forward to this game, but also I'm a bit wary of it as well. The main problem I have with it is it looks like it's just going to be a reskin of Far Cry, and as Far Cry 6 came out, what was it, like 2 years ago? Maybe it'll be too soon to have another Far Cry-like experience. And also the fact that it's a current gen only title, I was expecting a bit more, as it still feels like Ubisoft are still using the same formula that they used for the previous generation. But hopefully I'm wrong, and when the game releases on the 7th of December, I will be getting it day one, and I will also be streaming the first couple hours of the game over on Twitch. If you enjoyed watching this video, then a like would be much appreciated, as well as a subscribe. And I will also leave in the description down below the Star Wars Outlaws video I did. But thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.